Hey guys, got a new review here for you. This one's going to be on a Camillus knife. This is actually the Blaze model. Now I was confusing this for a while and calling it the Heat. You have this exact same design. It's speed assist knife. Okay, you have this exact same design but in three different sizes. And of course, between each size there's also different variations such as clip point or tanto or tanto blade, depending on how you say that. Or you can get a plain edge or the combination half serrated, half plane. And then of course you have bare blade or a coated blade. So there are a bunch of different variations. But basically between the three sizes they have different names. This is the middle size having a 3-inch blade, and this is the Blaze. Okay, the smaller version of this knife is actually called the Sizzle, I believe, and the largest is called the Heat. Now I was mistakenly calling this the Heat for a while, but it is the Blaze. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up. Camillus Blaze. This does, as you see, has the coated blade, clip point, plain edge. This knife cost me $28.97 at newgram.com. Average price online is between 25 and, I mean, I've only seen one site where it's 25, but average price is between that and about $35, $40. So I thought it was a pretty decent price. Again, price will depend on where you're buying it from. This is a 3-inch blade. It's stainless steel, and then it's coated for more corrosion resistance. The blade is 440C stainless, and that's a pretty standard blade steel. It's been used in the knife community for years and years. 440C, properly heat treated, is a very decent steel. It's a good balance, I would say, between ease of sharpening and performance. Okay, it'll hold an edge for a pretty good amount of time. It is a good stainless steel. It will not corrode easily or rust. So it's the industry standard, I would say, for most knives. Of course, when you get higher end knives, you're going to see more of the better steels like S30V and in Spyderco's case VG10 and stuff like that. 154 cm is mostly used by Benchmade, but 440C is definitely the good steel of the old day, I should say, and it's still used on plenty of good knives. So it's a good performing steel. These are made in Spain, the knife, which I found out. So what did I say? It's a 3-inch blade. It's got a 4-inch handle, making it 7 inches overall. Making it, I would say, I guess probably between medium and large size knife. I wouldn't really classify this as a large folder, more of a medium folder. But it's not small by any means. All right, let's see. Let's point out some good and then some bad. Now this is a knife that I personally would not carry for two reasons. One is for the $30 price range, I think you can do better. Some examples being the Benchmade Monochrome, the Benchmade Pika 2. In Spyderco's case, all the bird knives, I would say, for the price is even better than this one. So there's just, in my personal opinion, there's many better knives out there for the price range. Okay, for 30 bucks, I just feel you can get more than what this offers you. But that, even though I'm saying that, it shouldn't take away from this knife. This is still a pretty decent knife. If you happen to like the design, then hey, if it works for you, then get it. It's a very slick looking design. I really like the way it looks. Clip point blade looks very nice. I liked how they did the handle, the cutouts here for grip. Some kind of synthetic handle here. I'm not sure if it's Zytel or what, but it feels actually pretty light. Sorry I don't have a weight on this knife, but it is fairly light, having only that synthetic handle, metal liner, and then the blade. You have two ways to deploy this knife. You have a flipper on the back, and then you have double thumb studs for left or right hand use. Very easy to use. Although I find that with liner locks, using a lefty is very strange to me, to have to pull up instead of push down. Probably just because I'm so used to using knives, with my right hand. But as you can see here, it is very functional. You can use it righty or lefty. Something I definitely do not like, and I have to point out, is that this flipper is a poor design, in my opinion. I don't know if this differs between models, but for this one specifically, the Blaze, I find it to be very pointy, okay, and very narrow and thin. It's uncomfortable. The pressure you need to pop that blade out, it just makes it uncomfortable for your finger. Okay, in pushing this blade out, you can actually see an indent okay, in my pointer finger. Now, if it's making an indent in my skin and making it red, you can imagine that it's not very comfortable to use whatsoever. Now, I've tried to use more, like this towards the bottom of my finger, okay, or more towards the very tip, and it doesn't make a difference. It basically, I wouldn't say it hurts, but it's uncomfortable, and who wants that in a knife? Do you want to be uncomfortable using your knife? So if I were to actually use this knife, I would have to grind that down to nothing and just use the thumb studs, which are more than efficient in opening this knife. The studs are great. I actually find them to be really, really nice. I like a big, fat thumb stud like that, almost oversized. Really, really like that. Whether your hands are wet or whatever, or if you need to get your blade open very quickly, there's no messing around, okay? You can't miss that. Your thumb's in the area ready, and just you hit it, and your knife's open. What I like about this knife specifically, though, so it's not all cons, there are some pros, is the liner lock, okay? Very similar to the Cold Steel Tylite. What they did was they extended the piece of liner, okay, that locks the blade, and they extended it higher and then rolled it over. So it's basically the liner coming up from the handle, okay, the top part's bent over. So it's not that thick, okay, but the top is bent over, and what that offers is more surface area actually touching underneath that the bottom of the blade, okay, the tang. So what it makes for is a much stronger lock. Now, in dealing with liner locks, I find that most quality knives, I've never had a problem. Okay, Benchmade, Spyderco, SOG, Kershaw. I've never had a problem with liner locks from these different companies. Okay, if they're a major company, I've never really had a problem with it. But with cheaper knives, okay, Camillus not so much. I have to say in the past I've had Camillus knives that had blade play. This one happens to be really, really nice lockup. There's no play any direction. And that might have something to do with their design here, where they rolled that over. It does give it more surface contact, which of course will make it stronger. So I really, really like that. Definitely strong lockup. What I don't like about this is the clip. Not because of how it works. It actually functions very well. It's tight, but not too tight. So as far as its function, it's perfect. I just happen not to like the design. Personal preference, that's all that is. I think it's kind of ugly. But, you may not. That's totally fine. It's just something I wanted to point out. It's just personal opinion. But between the pocket clip not looking good, which is not a deal breaker for me whatsoever, it's just this. The flipper is just too uncomfortable. So I would never carry this knife. Although it's a very nice knife. I have to say, it's still a very nice knife. So if you like the design and you don't mind shelling out the 30 bucks, average price that it costs, I would probably recommend it. But I do have to warn you that this is going to be uncomfortable for you. I don't care who you are. This is not going to be something that you like. It might be something that you can handle, or you don't have a big issue with, but it's not something that you're going to be like great with. So I do want to mention that. If you do, in any chance whatsoever, if you have some kind of knife shop where you can actually handle knives before you buy them, that is ideal, okay? But obviously not everyone has a knife shop they can go to and play with the knives before they buy them. Most people are probably basing their purchases on pictures alone. And maybe, perhaps reviews like mine and other people on YouTube, and maybe some write-ups on the knives. But for the most part, people are looking at pictures, thinking, hey, that's pretty cool looking, I'll buy it. And unfortunately, they don't actually get to handle the knives, because seeing a picture of a knife, this looks absolutely awesome. But by the picture, I couldn't tell that is going to be uncomfortable. So once you actually get a knife in your hand, when you really know, hey, I can use this knife, or I don't like this about it, or this is a great feature on it. So things like that it's really hard. It's hard to find that out without handling the knives, first person. But that's my review. Overall, I'd say it's a good knife. If you like the design, like I said, pick it up. Just be aware of that issue. So that's my review. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.